Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Yo. Pretty sure this is going to YouTube. Yeah, I think we're live on YouTube.
You're live.
Yes, yes,
How are
yes.
the interwebs?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Catching the video this time. Last time I recorded a bunch of blanks. Oh, no. I recorded my screen instead. How you been, man? How you been?
Man, I'm doing all right. It's been an interesting week.
It's nice seeing you on Twitter. It's nice having somebody that's like, likes my posts. Shares Seal pics with. Cheers to that, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Judas is busy being on Kiwi. He's being a famous, popular Kiwi. So I need some company over here in the lonely part. I'm like a outpost outside of the. I was exiled from Kiwi Farms on like an outpost, and people like Steven, when they go to jail and they don't have Kiwis to help them, he can like connect with me from the barren wastes, and I can help get him stitched up.
The Kiwi Farm Outcast Self-Help Group.
Yeah. I've been working on my car all day today. It's been fun. It's been nice. Just grinding
Oh,
off
nice.
that rust, getting ready to repaint it.
Hmm.
It gets rusty down. It gets fucking rusty down here, man.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially with like all that coastline and salt spray. It's
Yeah, I live on a barrier island. I live on the barrier island you can see on the far east
mm,
coast in the center. So we just get blasted.
yeah. I don't know. We fare pretty good. Like kind of like Virginia area, kind of like East Coast. Not so far north that you deal with like salt on the roads all through the winter
Yeah.
time, but not too close to the coast where you deal with stuff out there. I mean, I'm far enough inland that most of the time, by like time a hurricane actually like hits where I'm at, like it's died down. It's just like a
Yeah.
bad rainstorm.
Hell, 15 years ago, they didn't come up there that often. I remember we had like two when in the entire time that I was living in North Carolina. That was like 9 years.
Hmm.
More
Well,
frequently,
you
but
always
that's
get
because
that
the
one
sun is ramping
hurricane
up.
every now and then. It like kind of like makes that weird like serpentine turn, like comes straight in the
Yeah.
coast, like North Carolina or
And it
something.
depends if El Nino is like doing the up or the down. El Nino or La Nina. If the Gulf Stream is going up or down. If it's going up, it's
Yeah.
blasting that shit towards you guys. If it's going down, it's gonna sit on us like fucking Sandy and drown us. But shit, man, Fort Lauderdale, it flooded like 3 stories tall once when that happened. That's scary.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shit, man, a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on in the world. And it's really
Yeah.
it's really distracting us from the fact that like, there's a whole lot of shit popping off in like the Russia sphere. Like there's people aren't talking about the shit popping off in the Russia sphere, but man, it's getting hot. Oh my god.
I've been interested in watching like all the oil tanker seizures that's going on, and like depending on which side you're coming from, like I've heard like some people like, it's America engaging in piratism. They're stealing ships. And,
No, it's because they're going to Cuba, which is a hostile country in our. It's like communism is basically terrorism. So, like definitionally, to a Christian country, especially. So, it's a hostile foreign country in our hemisphere. Like you can't even make
hmm,
such an argument, such a deep argument with socialist Venezuela because socialism is like 75% there. Full blown communist Cuba is no ally to the United States. It's only Russia that's really maintained their position there.
well, I mean, I think it's a combination of things. Like I know Trump passed that Ships Act, but so far, from what I understand, like most of the ports haven't been able to act on that. Like we're a long ways off from like building up our like shipbuilding capacity.
Mm.
So I almost kind of see like him stealing ships as a way to like skirt around that. Like, well, I'll just get a ship by taking one of Russia's like shadow fleet ships,
Scuttle
and
that
then we don't
shit.
even have to build it. We have a free tanker.
You
Which
know, you know what happens to our old cruise ships that we use here in America? We
no,
we take
what
them
happens to
and
them?
we beach them on the shore of India, and then the Indians start melting down all
Oh
the
yeah,
metal, and they turn into like pots and pans and shit, and Stanley cups.
and then eventually, like once they get done with it over there, it ends up at different places on the East Coast. Like there's a couple businesses I've picked up from before. I know they have two different locations. It's a business called SH Bell Co.
Hmm.
They have one facility in the port of Baltimore, and they have another facility that's like up the river, like kind of like in the Pennsylvania, Ohio area. I think they had to barge in the stuff there, but they deal in like scrap, like kind of like steel ingots.
Ooh, always fun, always fun. I remember one time
And
I managed to sneak on a really abandoned construction site, like it has been abandoned for like 10 years, and me and my buddy stole like $3,500 worth of galvanized steel.
but specifically, like we picked up from there a couple times because they also ship ferrosilicone that gets like shipped here from Brazil,
Oh, that makes
which I
sense.
think gets used in the forging process because ferrosilicone, from what I've read, when you add it to like molten metal, it adds a little bit of iron content, but the silicone kind of like oxidizes and forces the oxygen out of the forging process.
Oh, interesting. Because I was just thinking about how really, really high quality steel is basically like the diamond version of iron.
Hmm.
And when it starts to rust, the molecules start to get out of alignment and it turns back into iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fixing up the Lancer. It's been dilapidated. I've been using my dad's car a lot. I just didn't drive around for a lot. I wasn't telling the Kiwis how much I was suffering and how fucked up my life was, but it was pretty bad. But now things are getting patched up right now. But speaking of which, oh my god, man. I've had a hell of a day. You want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Fucking okay, so my best
Hmm.
friend, Jot, coming into town from up north with his girlfriend, who I love, and we spent like the last 2 weeks together, hanging out, enjoying the holidays, and making plans. And now we're finally enacting our plans. And yesterday we did a shit ton of work. I was exhausted. Woke up early. I was just like, all right, 9 o'clock. He's gonna be there. You know, it's great. He shows up at like 12:30. And I'm just like, okay, man, Rome wasn't built in the day, man. It's all good. Like, we'll get it done, you know, whenever the project's done, the project's done. You know, I'm just thinking in my head, I've been grinding this fucking metal all morning. And you know, the sunlight, he's got to get the worst part of the day. That's going to suck for him. You know, he's complaining the entire time while 40 minutes pass. And then he's like, all right, man, it's time to do the painting. And I'm just like, bro, we're still grinding rust, man. There's tons. We haven't even touched this stuff. And I like, go pointing over to something that's like right next to me because it's an arm's length. And he like reaches over me and he's like skipping around with the damn thing. And it's like hitting the rubber next to my windshield. I can see it still, it fucked up the rubber on the top of my windshield when it was perfect before. So that was upsetting.
Mm.
And then like I'm trying to be very patient with him. I am being very stoic and patient. And I'm just like, well, okay, man, I'm gonna keep grinding. You know, you can take a break and you can come back later. I'll let you know when we're ready to paint. And he's just like, no, man, you're a bitch. Fuck that. And he starts packing up his shit. And I'm just like, well, shit, man, that's very bad, man. But you are welcome to come back here later, man. Just sort it out. You know, and he's like, "Nah, man, fuck you, you're a bitch." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, man!" In my head, I'm just like, "Holy fuck!" I'm just grinding away. I'm just doing my work, and he's cursing and cursing and cursing. I'm just like, I'm gonna get my shit, and I'm just go ahead. I trust you, man. Go into the house, get whatever you need. Of course, he doesn't get all of his shit. I have to go and pick up stuff and bring it over to his girlfriend, and she hops out of the van later. But it's neither here nor there. He's like yelling. It's increasing. It's getting worse and worse. He's saying you're just like your mom, you know, and all this fucking really hurtful shit. Like I've lived with this guy. He's lived with me and my mom. He's paid rent to my mom back when I was in my early 20s, and I've lived with him back in my mid 20s, and like
Hmm.
we've built our lives together, and it's just this shit came out of nowhere, man. And like I'm still grinding away and he's like insulting the shit out of me. But eventually that shit gets to me. That gets under my skin. So I kind of get up in his face a little bit, you know, not really, Like I'm getting to the end of my driveway as he's like yelling at me from his truck. So I'm not really getting up in his face, but I'm approaching him to the limit of what I would assume is not his space, and I'm yelling at him and shit. Like he doesn't owe me, like I don't owe him anything. I straight up don't owe him anything. Like I had already paid him. He came to the job site late. He came with a bad attitude. I had already paid him for the job because I had trusted him. He had the fucking money, the $120 in his pocket. I was also gonna help him with his truck, doing the exact same work for free in exchange for helping me with my car, and like all afterwards. And like he's trying to dictate the flow of the pace, and that's just not working, man. That's just not working because like I'm okay if you leave and come back, but I'm not okay with you
Yeah.
saying we're gonna paint over this fucking rust. It's gonna eat away underneath. It's gonna be an anaerobic environment. It's gonna eat it real quick. So, and that's just that, man. Been fucking grinding pain into my lungs all day by myself, trying to keep myself from crying. But shit, man, I
Hmm.
just sent him a text, man. Get personal with it, like for real though. Fucking when his mom was putting him up when I was going to high school with him, and he had a place of his own. His mom's putting him up. He invited people over that shot a gun through the wall, could have killed somebody. So his mom has to come
Hmm.
down from her trucking job. She's a trucker, and she's like a bat out of hell coming down to Florida and it's just like, bro, that was being a bad son. And like his sister's kids don't respect him, and like his sister's kids say we don't have to respect Jod, and it's just like, yeah, straight up, bro, it's because you're not like acting like you're worthy of respect. Like we lived up in North Dakota, you refused to get me the lease. I lived there quietly and peacefully making friends with everybody. You brought this fucking crackhead drunk into my house, our house. I keep him sober for a week. You come back down for the weekend, you get him drunk as hell. He throws up everywhere. He makes multiple noise complaints. I get evicted because that motherfucker never got me the lease in my house. I'm up in North Dakota. It's getting cold as fuck. I'm living on the Red River. Like, I don't, like, fucking, he doesn't owe me shit. I don't owe him shit. He doesn't owe me shit. But, like, that entitlement, man, like, fuck, bro. And when he was living with my mom, he, like, didn't pay her rent on time. And then he went and bought a video game. Like, and I saw it. And I called him out in front of everybody. It's just like, bro, I got all these memories, man. I don't think I've ever done anything wrong to this guy. And I was like dissociating for like hours until I just started crying, bro. I can't put it together. I have no fucking clue what just happened today.
Hmm. Yeah, I've had friends like that in the past, and I tend to just not maintain a friendship when it gets toxic like that.
I was talking about going to the business with him, man. It sucks because I can't trust somebody like that to do business with.
Yeah.
It is what it is,
Yeah, it
man. I
sounds
do it
like
on my own.
he's got some issues that he needs to work out.
Yeah. Because it's just like, I almost like, in retrospect, I should have like mouthed over to his girlfriend, is he on cocaine? Like what the fuck? That's so out of left field because we were working so good the day before. It was so perfect and great and good attitude. And there was nothing to prime that other than me telling him, hey man, I'm gonna keep grinding, but you can go ahead and, leave for a while and, I'll get to painting. Or we'll get to painting afterwards, and I'll get to grinding. You know, it it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've got one friend. He just texted me recently. It's the first time I heard from him in months. He's up until recently he worked as a mechanic at like a local shop, and he texted me just to let me know that he's like going like freelance now, as like a kind of like a traveling mechanic or
Oh,
whether. And
nice.
so he basically messaged me like let me know that and to like pass the word along, get my his number out if I knew anybody that needed his help. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but I was kind of hoping to hang out with you at some point because we
Mm-hmm.
kept talking about it, like, yeah, we'll hang out. And I hadn't heard from the guy like literally in like half a year now.
Hmm. Damn. Yeah. Well, hopefully he's successful. But he's just so busy. He forgot about it because he's so busy and successful. I wish the
I
best.
think he's
I wish Jot the best too.
one of those people just kind of like he can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. Like he's been complaining like they don't pay me enough at this shop, man. I'm working my ass off. They just don't pay me enough at this shop, and it's
Hmm.
like So that's cool, man. We all have problems at our job
I mean,
sometimes,
yeah, none
but
of us is getting paid as much as we'd like to, right? The hope is that we
yeah,
have steady work and we're around people that love us and that we're not working around stuff that's making us really sick. That's the hope. Unfortunately, mechanics oftentimes they have to work around hexane and shit, and that does make them real sick, and they should be compensated for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we have a Judas who's joined as a listener.
Judas! Hell yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my screen right now to make sure I'm not making any weird faces. Yeah, Judas. What's up, man? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've tuned into like Null's stream for the first time in a long time. I think his last stream that he did this week, and I caught like a little bit of his stream today, and sounds like he's getting involved in some new stuff.
Last Tuesday was pretty good because he had to stream for 3 weeks, and so he had it like all saved up. It just goes to show like when you stream every day, it really does tend to like chip away at your quality unless you have like a whole team and they're working on like an 8-cylinder engine and it's all firing real even. It's hard to do,
Yeah,
man. I don't know how fucking Asmongold does that shit. Like for real.
no, but his website that he's developing to like target like the Ohio GOP
Yeah.
and
New
try
GOP,
to
I
like
think it's
stop
called, or New
Vivek
Gov.
Ramaswamy or whatever. Like
Yeah, and his
I don't
fucking
know.
absurd pompadour haircut. That shit's wild. If you look at him from the side, it's like sticking up. It's like a weird faux hawk almost.
It's, it's definitely a big change from like the last time I'd like listened to a stream when he was like still in Serbia or wherever he was at, and like I don't care about America. And I don't know if I'm ever coming back.
Hmm. Oh no!
Like
I just read
they
a
they
message.
don't have my European cheeses there.
I just read a message. Judas is hanging up the moots. I'm taking over
What?
the horns. I'm taking the horns. I'm the mootist
Oh man.
now. Nah. We'll stream together another time, man. I'm really depressed right now. I don't want to bring you down. Love you, bro. Yeah. What's the weather like up there right now? Is it cold?
Yeah, it's been. I think lately it's been kind of unseasonably warm for this time of year. It's been like kind of getting up in like the 60s, like during the daytime, and like kind of dropping down like back in like the low 40s or high 30s at
That actually
night.
sounds really nice.
It's not too bad.
I can explain why it's been so hot these last couple of years. It's not fucking global warming. The sun is at a peak. It goes through a cycle. I forgot if it's every like
Yeah.
30 or every 60 years or like I think it's a 60-year cycle. So it goes 30 years of going up and then 30 years of going down. And 2025 was the peak, the very peak of the solar cycle where there was just belting out coronal mass ejections and sunspots all over the place. And that's why you could see the northern lights all the way down, like way south. You guys probably got northern lights. We got northern lights in the north of the state.
I think we got it. I honestly missed it because I heard about it the day after it happened. I was like, if I literally just walked outside, I might have saw it.
Yeah. It
And
was probably cold as fuck that day.
no, I've been keeping up with I don't know if you know that guy on YouTube, Suspicious Observer or whatever. His whole thing that he keeps talking about is the pole shift.
Ah. Yeah, I've been hearing about that for a while though, so I'll believe it when I see it. That's my opinion on that. But there's
Well, I mean,
evidence. There's a
he's
lot of
been talking about it
evidence.
for years because I think I stumbled across his channel years ago, and I've always had him like subscribed, but I never like actively watched him until like I've been seeing his name come up more and more because specifically around like the Aurora Borealis appearing like so far south, a lot of people are attributing that to the weakening of the ionosphere and
Hmm.
the potential that the poles might shift soon.
NASA actually sent up two probes that are going right up to the northernmost part of the ionosphere to see where it is. you know, strongest and weakest. And I think it's called the Tracers program.
Hmm.
They're already Tracer. That joke was terrible.
No, I got it though.
Every game should have a monkey that teleports to snipers and beats the shit out of them. That's a fact.
Like it just should come out with like TF3.
Yeah, right. But then the like $1 billion market of fucking hats would have to like transfer over, you know. It'd have to be like a transferable thing, and that would be difficult. Because then that would
We
ruin the
know
economy of the
Half-Life
new
3 is never coming. It's a
one.
meme.
Don't tell
It's
don't
never
tell
happening.
Henstepple that. He'll be very upset. I told him in jail that Half-Life 3 was announced. I got his hopes up.
Team Fortress 3 might be in the works, hopefully.
Really? Actually?
No.
Oh, because I'd love to see like a
I'm
set of new
trying to
characters.
speak it into existence.
I deserve it for telling
I'm-
Henstepple that Half-Life 3 was coming out.
I'm throwing the meme magic out there and hoping Gabe is gonna like subvert expectations, M Night Shyamalan style. It's like, you know what? You wanted a 3, I'll give you a 3. Team Fortress 3. Fuck you all.
Yeah, I'd love to see a cast of new characters, all with their own meet the X, meet the Y, meet the Z. That would be fucking great. I'd love that. That would really bring a lot of life back into the American cultural zeitgeist. I feel.
Well, one of the things I've been kind of leads me to think about that was specifically like some of the TF2 YouTubers and how they constantly complain about the game, and there's only like one dev that actually works in the game. Nothing ever gets
Really?
fixed. They can't fix the bot problem.
Yeah.
It's if you like actually like subscribe to one of their channels and like scroll through their lists, it's a never-ending cascade of everything is terrible. Most people are like moving to private servers so they can fix the bot problem on their end.
Yeah.
And
Shit,
it
man.
kind of makes me wonder, like, Valve must be doing something in the background. If they only have a single dev working on this whole game.
Yeah, that sounds like it's the end of the lifespan of a game. It sounds like it's only a couple of years before the servers start being questionable, whether they should still fund them or not. But, you know, the hat economy will keep the servers up, hopefully indefinitely.
Or maybe it's just like they're just so invested in running Steam and then running CSGO, and that's like, that's the only thing they got.
Oh, shit, man. That's gotten so many kids addicted to gambling all over the world, is why CS, Counter-Strike, and the mobile Counter-Strike and all that shit is so popular.
Yeah.
Sucks. Gambling really is kind of a virus, and it is kind of like running its course, like a really bad plague. It's running its course through our society. Whereas we had previously had it like illegal. Our immune system wasn't up because it was illegal for so long, and so when it's hitting normal people, it's really fucking them up. And you see people there, like I'm serious. Like when you do like fucking auctioning and shit, or when you trade silver and gold, you're still fulfilling that same. You're just doing it in a more high fidelity way. You know, instead of like farming and watching a plant grow or watching an animal grow. You know, that's way better for the brain, I feel.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still debating like cashing out my 6 silver like Kiwi Farms coins.
I don't know. Those
Well,
seem
the
like they're
price is
way
high.
more sentimental value. And like the sentimental value only gets like it genuinely increases the value of something over time as more of them get melted down. And it gets rarer and rarer.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 6 of them. I could always like part with like maybe 1 or 2 if I really wanted to. But
Some
I mean,
people will end up melting them just for the silver value. You know, some of them will end up getting inherited,
like
and then they'll
$50
just sell them.
profit because I think when Noel sold them, it was like $30.
I remember he got a lot of those shits that went missing out of the warehouse, and I bet you those motherfuckers scooped his. Some Indians in a warehouse scooped his fucking silver.
Well, I mean, it's part of the problem of being overseas and expecting everything to be done remotely.
Yeah, that was really ambitious, and I was egging him on to do that from the chat, like really, really aggressively. So, like, he
I mean,
honestly, I was proud of him.
If he'd been back in the United States and got somebody to do it here, he probably been 10 times better off.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I think even like on the tail end of it.
Serbia is pretty base though. Serbia is like a Russian Macedonia. in many ways. It's like a Macedonian language Russia. So they're very proud of being Slavs, but they also have like a ton of Greek loanwords and stuff like that. So they're
Hmm.
very, very Greek influenced Slavs.
I've never been very gifted with like languages. Like I can speak English. That's as far as I ever got.
I'm not good at speaking.
I
Well, actually, it's crazy. The more I study the languages, the more I feel like inclined to speak foreign languages. It's weird because you learn the history and how all the languages are connected through Indo-European root words and shit. That's cool. Etymology and shit. That's cool. Because then you learn what the languages, what the words really mean.
hmm. No, I don't have a lot of memory retention for it. Like I took Spanish in high school, and I still can't remember hardly any of it.
Well, it's hard
And
because, you got to live in order for the words to mean something. And for me,
yeah,
trabajo, work, it means something because it means a weird like psycho-spiritual thing. Like when they say in the Bible, if thou shalt not work, thou shalt not eat. And like a
hmm,
trabajo is like a tribulajo, which is like a little pitchfork that a demon wields that they kind of poke you with. So it's like it's work is kind of like poking you towards away from hell, I suppose, in a way. That's kind of what the word means. And then when like you have all that history together in the etymological map of the word, then the word trabajo really stands out from work or toil.
hmm,
Toil is closer.
okay.
But toil just makes you think of toilet, so languages are weird.
Hmm.
So what are your prospects recently, man? What you been up to?
Prospects recently. I don't know. I'm kind of working on doing a Substack. I'm gonna finally like actually like start writing and putting something out there.
Hmm. That'd be interesting. I'd subscribe to that.
But I'm gonna put it under a different handle. It's gonna be like the handle. I'll probably share it to you like once I actually like get it published and
Oh
everything.
yeah. Just
But
meditate and wait for the perfect name, the perfect alias that'll catch people's attention to come to you. It'll come to you eventually.
but no, I want to specifically write about trucking and just the first article I'm writing about like how I got into trucking and kind of like
Oh yeah.
the springboard into it. So it's gonna be me like kind of like telling the story of like how I got involved, how I got my first job, and kind of like the journey to where I am now a little bit.
Right on. Flesh it out. Make people visualize it and stuff. Make people feel like they're coming along for the journey. Oh yeah, man, that'd be fun.
Well,
Autobiographies are the best. My grandfather wrote one about being in the war. That's one of my favorite books.
one thing specifically like there needs to be some specifically around the conversation around non-domicile CDLs and
Ah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
there's an undercurrent of the conversation that doesn't get talked about, and it's the reason why these companies are pursuing these people. And it's something it gets mentioned every now and then, but it doesn't get a lot of talk.
What was
Is
that?
most trucking companies have a 90% turnover,
Mm.
and I can answer that question if you read my story about how I got into trucking and how terrible it was.
Yeah, because that's an
And
interesting statistic. That does raise some questions.
and kind of like the culmination of the story, which I can kind of give it away a little bit, is after spending 11 months straight living in this truck, not having like hardly any free time to myself, only getting like home time for every 2 days every 2 months.
Damn. If you
I
can
got
be in the
paid
area,
fourteen
right?
thousand dollars for the whole year. A
What?
salary of $14,000 for that.
What in the hell?
It's basically slave wages.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. Didn't that used to
And
be better back in the day?
It used to be,
Yeah.
but this is part of the problem is the amount of hours you work and the complexity of the job and the conditions of the job ends up driving anybody that's decent away.
Yeah.
So you end up with that 90% turnover where you're decent, hardworking people that would have done a good job, paid
Mm.
attention to what they're doing
Mm-hmm.
on while they're driving, not be checking their phone and crashing into people and doing all this
Not stopping
mess.
in the middle of the fucking
They
street.
they run for the hills once they actually get in this job.
Mm.
And then you're left with nobody wants to do it. So eventually these companies get desperate. They call like a senator or congressman in some state, like, hey, can you help us? Like, we'll widen the accreditation process so it's easier for people to get a CDL, and then eventually it turns into people that aren't even like citizens of this country getting CDLs somehow, and then you arrive at this point where like two immigrants driving, I believe it was in Florida, making
Yeah.
a legal
Yeah.
U-turn on interstates, and then three other immigrants driving a car end up like almost like beheading themselves driving underneath this trailer and all die.
Damn, I didn't know the people in the car were immigrants.
Yeah, that was kind of like the weird part of the story was people at first, like when they heard the story, like, oh, it's so terrible, just killed like three
I
Americans, they
literally
shouldn't even be
pictured
here.
like a family. I just pictured an American family. Damn, I didn't know that.
It
But it's
was
not like that like it could happen to an American family too.
it has happened to an American
What
family.
if it
It
was
happened
like a
specifically here in
Pakistani
Virginia.
car and like the
It was
Indians were just like, fuck this Pakistani car and they did it on purpose?
a story that happened here in Virginia. I think towards the end of
He cut out.
hello?
Yo, you're back.
All right. No, three brothers are driving back, I believe, from like some martial arts practice up in kind of like Northern Virginia, and a truck driver rear-ended them
Oof.
and ended up killing, I believe, two of them. I want to say one of them survived, but he was like maimed.
Oof. Yeah.
And I mean, they're three brothers. Like I believe, like the ages like 19, 17, and like
That's a
14
pissed off set of parents right there. Holy fuck.
And the worst part was because Virginia is a contributory negligence state. They said I think what had happened is their car broke down. They were pulled over on the side of the road with the hazards on, and he like careened into the back of them.
Oh
But part of the
no.
problem with Virginia being a contributory negligence state is if you do anything that could contribute to being negligent in an accident, you're equally
Mm.
liable for the accident. So they actually let the truck
Eee.
driver go away from the scene and leave.
Ah, that sucks. That hurts, man. Ah, that hurts.
And being that he was a non-domicile CDL, it's likely, I believe, he was an immigrant who
Probably
wasn't
just
supposed to be
skated
here.
out of the country. Yeah.
It's it's stories like that. Like it really sucks, but it's like we got to this point because
It's like
really, like a
outsourcing,
lot
right?
of yeah,
Yeah, it's like outsourcing a job inside of the country that is like circulating inside of the veins of the country itself, yet somehow they manage to figure out how to outsource it. It's like when an immune system starts attacking their own body, for God's sakes. That's
there was
rheumatism.
a lot of crazy stories. There was I think I don't know if it was Ohio or Kentucky. It's one of these states in kind of like the Central America, but they had some deal they had worked out with Kenya, and
Yeah.
they were going to import drivers from Kenya. And this is the crazy part about the story.
Kenya's on the
They were
up and
going
up.
to take Kenya driver's licenses as comparable to American driver's licenses and issue them CDLs without even training.
Are there even roads in Kenya?
And the only reason this got found out was the like a Kenyan news site published an article about like Werner is going to let us like be truck drivers in their country. And it's like
Shit, man,
what?
you let them on to us. Fuck.
Because I think Werner specifically, they were being really hush hush about it. They didn't want to talk about it. I think they briefly had it published on their website and they took it down because this story was starting to get like heat about like non-domicile CDLs, and then like this Kenyan newspaper's like, "Hey, we're gonna brag about this," and like then everybody found out and it's like, "Oh,
Yeah, I think Kenya and Uganda are some of the most active parts of Africa. They're pretty much on the up and up. They're pretty burgeoning.
yeah," but I mean, the part of the problem is can you trust that a Kenyan truck driver is trained to the same level that an American truck driver
Well,
is?
fuck, man. I know that the Kash Patel, the Ugandan FBI director, is not adequate. He's not fucking trained properly.
What? What are you talking about, man? He's doing a great job. This guy's
No,
is Israeli GF. He's doing a great job.
dude, we need to figure out who's assassinating some of our smartest scientists. That's gonna put us back a few years. I don't believe that a Portuguese man committed suicide in a shipping container where they torture people to death all the time. I feel like that's a little sketchy.
Yeah, it's even like crazier stories. Like, did you see that story that came out about like it was right around the time that we're like shooting boats in like the
Oh
Caribbean,
yeah,
supposedly
around
smuggling
Trinidad,
drugs from Venezuela.
Trinidad and
And then like
Tobago.
the story comes out about, yeah, we just found like 20 tons of like cocaine being shipped in a container coming out of like a port in Chile.
Mm-hmm,
And it's
mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, that's great, man. We're over here like shooting at speedboats, and they're just like loading them up on like shipping
Well,
containers on like
almost
normal
all the
ships.
cocaine comes from Bolivia. Bolivia is the real
Yeah,
cocaine heart of the world. That's where the cocaine originally grows. It's where it's native. So, like, the cocaine for the longest period of time would travel from Bolivia. That stopped under Evo Morales, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't quite remember if it was Morales or what. But like I used to know Latin American politics very, very well. It's very important. It's extremely important to figuring out all this fucked up shit that's going on because it is unironically true that a lot of those boats we were blowing up were unironically like not fishing boats. I don't know what they were because I can't tell you what they were honestly with like 100%
I mean,
certainty, but they were not fucking fishing boats with four high speed onboard motors and no fishing equipment visible.
I think the best explanation I saw is literally they're smuggling oil to Cuba
Very
to get
likely.
around the oil embargo.
Very
Because
likely, yes.
the thing that a lot of people were pointing out was, why would you put cocaine in an oil barrel, specifically with a funnel that like a top on it's made to like pour in a liquid?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to sit there with a funnel and try to like scoop in a powder
Yeah,
over
the
and over
crack
again,
comes
and
from
like,
Colombia and the cocaine comes from Bolivia. Like Venezuela's where the fucking oil comes from. And
which
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the whole story, and I've told some people this, like, I just think Trump's messaging on this has been really terrible. Like,
Yeah,
he should have
it's been
came
pretty
out from the
bad.
beginning and just said, like, look, we just don't want them shipping oil to Cuba, and we're trying to
Yeah.
stop that.
It's that simple. Just let Marco Rubio take this one. He's very passionate about this particular issue.
I
That's
mean, the
it.
whole thing about it's the fentanyl. It's just so terrible, folks. We gotta stop the fentanyl from Venezuela. And he just he just kept going on. It's like, I don't believe you, man.
Most of the
I
fentanyl
know.
comes from the northern border. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Whether on the East Coast or the West Coast, it's coming down from the north, and usually it's being trafficked by
I
Hell's
mean, shoot,
Angels.
we even found the fentanyl like refinery in Canada.
Yeah. And a lot of it's coming from China too, and then being shipped over to Canada. But yeah, a lot of it's coming
Yeah.
directly from Canada in the rural outskirts. What's where a lot of the meth in the Americas are coming from too, and Mexico.
Canada,
Yeah.
Mexico, and some of it's coming directly from California, from what I've
And
heard too. Just
domestically, yeah, I've watched people fucking shake and bake, just carrying around meth that they're making all the time. It's fucking insane.
because it's one of those things. Like, part of the problem, specifically, like with the port, I think it's Long Beach port in LA,
Mm-hmm.
is since it's so automated now, there's so few staff to actually inspect shipping containers. So
Huh.
it's a whole lot easier to sneak stuff past like customs and border.
Yeah, well, California's pretty lax anyway. Oh, they got a laissez-faire attitude over there. It's a little bit too laissez-faire because they're dealing with like a 5,000-year-old entity, like that's right on the other side of the Pacific Ocean that is very, very invested in Californian politics and Oregon politics.
Yeah. Which I think that was that ship that they found the cocaine on and coming out of Chile. That was his destination. It was supposed to be coming to like Los Angeles port.
Yeah.
Which,
That's where it
if it had
normally
gotten
goes.
there, probably what would have happened, it would have got unloaded automatically by like some automated crane. Customs and Border wouldn't have time to like check it. They just would have scanned the
Mhm.
container and gone about their day. Somebody would have kind of got in there to like load it onto something. It would have gotten out of the port and nobody would notice, and it would have been like a whole shipping container full of cocaine just wild in the country.
I think there's tons of Puritans who raise their children to be good DHS agents. I think that DHS, even though it's been okay, so Nixon originally created the drug war and legalized marijuana, even though it had been like a staple American crop that the Constitution is written on, that the sailing ships were like made ropes and sails of. He made it illegal specifically because he knew that um, uh, he could not arrest his political enemies directly, so he had to find something that they were attached to arrest them for. And so that's
Yeah.
why he targeted weed, even though weed isn't really something that's bad. It's less bad than alcohol, and I think people should be able to use things that are like not that bad, like cigarettes, alcohol, and weed responsibly, you know. But like, that's where the drug war really came from. Is like it's a political movement, and then during the neoconservative era, it turned into like we're going to use the drug war as an excuse to erect more black sites around the world. You know, black sites like Guantanamo Bay and stuff like that. And that, like, I really truly do believe the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, the Patriot Act, all that shit that happened after 9/11 is not just a response to Islamic terrorism or a response to Americans inducing Islamic terrorism directly. I do genuinely believe that DHS, in many, many ways, and why it flattens over our Constitution deliberately, is the communist, like Soviet spirit that died in like 1992 or something, uh, going through the Brooklyn card carrying communists into the Republican Party through George H.W. Bush. And like it's like really truly changing the zeitgeist of our country. And we need to remember that we're Americans. You know, we always need to remember that
Yeah.
and be proud of that because America is a good country. And America has defeated a lot of evils and a lot of shit that people don't talk about. Like the spirit of England selling drugs all over the world. We fucking defeated that. We got the baton passed to us, and then we said, actually, we hate the fucking Sacklers.
No, I think I can't remember who it is. I know it's a author that said this once, that basically America took like the best human capital that like a lot of the European countries had to offer, because it took the people willing to literally like brave wilderness and establish society from nothing,
Yeah.
from those countries, brought them all here into one place. And we basically drained some of the best human capital that Europe had to offer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. There's a lot of books about how Europe is like, it's just a ticking time bomb from complete collapse.
Because I mean, even like kind of looking back on like my family history, my some of the first like recordings of like my family's last name comes from like landing in Virginia around like 1670 and 1690.
Nice. Yeah. I know the 1T
So I mean,
Matthews is something that's very exclusive to Americans.
so my family like basically landed here in like the Virginia colony
Yep.
100 years before the country was officially founded.
Do you know where Gloucester County is? Down by the south?
Mm-hmm.
That's where
Yeah.
Matthews County is. 1T Matthews County.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I believe like since my dad is Welsh, Gloucester, which is it's on the border of Wales and in England. I do believe that's where he comes from, and that his ancestors did found that area. I believe that. I have no evidence of that because he's one of those cases. There's a lot of these cases in America where our ancestors just got scammed like 5 times, and now we're just like kind of floating around. Apparently, my dad
Yeah.
is related to Marie Antoinette. Like he traces his lineage back to like noble Norman knights, you know, the motherfuckers that took back Italy from the fucking Sicily Emirate. And so he's got some serious nobility in his veins, but when he made it over to America, his family just became farmers and settled.
Yeah, it's. I think from best I can tell, that's kind of like most of my family's history is a lot of farmers.
That's what America's good at, where you got beautiful, beautiful, fertile land. Arable as hell. In fact, we're the breadbasket of the world in many, many ways. We ship out lots and lots of our food. Like what? Like 50%, 60% ship it out.
Something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of soybeans and corn.
Yeah, we could do a little bit less Bill Gates Roundup Ready soy. Like people won't want to buy our products if they are filled with fucking poison that gives people MS-like symptoms. Like they won't want to buy it. They'll buy Argentinian meat. They'll buy Chinese soy. They won't buy American. And we really need to move towards like raw milk, like deregulate that shit, and then like regulate the fuck out of like the chemicals and the hormones and all that evil shit that they're injecting into people's food.
No, that's one thing. I was happy to see like RFK join the Trump administration.
Yeah, me too.
As like DHS secretary.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the few people like I have like some respect for. Like he's trying to do a good job.
Yeah. I'd say so. I mean, unfortunately, he's that fucking like literal like visual freak, Rabbi Shmuley, has been around. The guy that killed Michael Jackson has been around RFK for a very, very, very long time, and it's kind of poisoning him.
I do like that meme though. Like, why is this butt plug salesman like picture with like every major one?
Yeah, right. For real.
It's like it really makes you think. Wow.
Yeah. And like he did kill Michael Jackson, so you know. I don't even know. Like with Michael Jackson, the more I study it, the more I think, yeah, he probably did actually end up molesting children later on. Unfortunately,
maybe.
Sad to say for everybody. I do like to separate his music from him though, because his music is really fucking good. Situationally, of course.
That's more Razor Fist territory. I know he's like the resident like Michael Jackson apologist.
Oh, really? No, unfortunately, when I caught his ass in the Epstein files, it's like, player. Player.
No, Razor Fist specifically, he has like two videos that I found notable. Is the one he has like this long, like I think it's like over an hour long defense of Michael Jackson. That like, no, he didn't actually do that, and here's why. Here's like the court transcripts, and here's this and that. And
there was a lot of questions.
He also has a video condemning Abraham Lincoln.
Well, you know, he was a tyrant, but I have the feeling that if he was allowed to like be a president for a while, then he would have been less of a tyrant. He actually had a plan to repatronize all the black people who did not want to stay in the United States. And if that plan had gone through, instead of the like LBJ Democrats keeping the black people on the plantation for hundreds of years, then we would not have had as much crime. Like permanent second generation immigrants, you know?
I think Abraham Lincoln's legacy kind of suffers from the kind of like the MLK thing where he's lionized to a degree like above his station.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
he's the best president ever. No, he's fucking not.
Well, he even pointed out in the video, like he went through the whole backstory of like Lincoln when he was in the Whig Party and the whole story about the flying wigs, where they like locked the I think it's like the courthouse doors and then jumped out the window to prevent something from being passed, like the Indiana like house.
The Whigs are very weird. Did you know the Whigs believe in a religious philosophy that the West enabled destruction in order for the creative destructive locusts to be like it's fucking crazy, but they don't make apologies for like the West like blowing itself up repeatedly, the Whig Party. And I say no, man. We fucking stumbled quite a few times. Don't say that we haven't. We're not. Things are not going perfectly in the motherland.
No, but I basically took that video and his reading list. And I just like went down the list and purchased like every book that he cited.
Who?
The video that Razor Fist had made on Lincoln,
Ah.
because he did like a nice kind of like a appendix in like the the note section of the video. And he basically like said every book that he used to cite his references. So I
Huh.
just
Well, good for
went
him. It's
down the
good to
list
do
and like
references.
purchased every book.
You're a big Civil War
But
guy. You should do a Substack on the Civil War after you've done while or after you've done your trucking one. I think a lot of people would love that, and I think you'd be really passionate about that, and it's like an endless well to draw from.
maybe.
I'm gonna be reading some of my dad's stories on my podcast soon.
Oh, nice.
Yep. His wound on his foot's healing more and more. Like
Hmm.
every week, it gets smaller and smaller. We take inches, and like it's like about 5 inches by 5 inches by like 6 inches now, which it was like 7.5 by like 9 inches originally. It was a pretty big wound. But you can't see this, but you'll be able to hear it probably. This is my new angle grinder.
Nice.
It's a Ryobi. It isn't great, but it is kiwi green, and I do like the color. It matches well with my brown gloves.
You know what they say about this Ryobi, guys?
I don't know what they say about me.
Well, there was a funny meme that came out specifically like when the latest tranche of like Epstein stuff got released,
Oh, yeah.
and there's like one photo of like his like closet, and he has like some Ryobi tools, and it's like, of course Epstein is a Ryobi guy.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm a DeWalt guy. I just can't afford to be one.
Well, that's kind of like a meme around like job sites about like the Ryobi guy is like a cheap bastard.
I swear to God, when I worked in a defense company, there was no Ryobi guys. There were none. It was either Makita or DeWalt every time. And then my other boss, my handyman boss, he was a rigid guy, and rigid's got a really wide selection of tools. And the guy that just like called me a bitch 50 times, he's a Cobalt guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I've bought a lot of DeWalt tools. I'm just the one thing that I hate about DeWalt. I've had a bad track record with their batteries.
Huh? They're really expensive.
They really suck, and they'd like die after a year.
Oh shit!
So
wow.
like I've actually started to like the last DeWalt, I purchased like a drill, and then I bought like Chinese knockoff batteries. Because they're like half the price of a DeWalt battery, and I figure like if this thing dies after a year or two, at least I only half the money.
Yeah,
but
I wonder how long my Ryobi batteries are gonna last.
I'm not buying any more DeWalt batteries, man, because I've bought tools before, and they die so quick.
That's how they get
like
you.
I bought like a cordless reciprocating saw, and I love that saw, but like the battery literally died after the first year of purchase.
Damn.
It wouldn't hold a charge anymore, and I actually did finally like get an adapter for it, so I can use like some of these more modern batteries with that, with this adapter. So it's
nice.
I finally like gotten like a new life in that tool finally, but it was like one of those like kind of like it was like nickel cadmium rechargeable batteries that they used to have, those big battery packs.
Yeah, the DeWalt batteries are really, really expensive. That sucks that they die so quickly. I was told that they stack the ions in a better way or something, but that obviously doesn't sound right.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, like lithium ions, it's a flawed technology.
Yeah.
There's not going to get but so much better.
I say if once we get down the thorium salt shit and we condense it, then we're going to be cooking with some serious gas. It's going to be radioactive gas though, so we got to be watching out for that.
Like I'll take the NASA like radioactive battery. Something that doesn't die.
At least it doesn't. I'm not running to the fucking charger 15 times a day. Well, shit, man, this has been a really, really great stream. It's coming up on an hour. Would you like to call it here?
Keep going if you want to.
Yeah, sure. We can go for another like 30 minutes or so, but I do have to get a shower. I am soaked in sweat.
I got you.
Oh, lordy, lordy. But have you
No,
heard of James
I've been.
Fishback?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can door knock for him and support him as the next Florida governor, and Aaron Baker too as my own district representative against fucking Randy Fine, who's my representative right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Uh,
sucks.
yeah, James Fishback seems like a pretty cool dude. I I think he'd be better for Florida than Byron Donalds.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know, like that's my biggest contention with Trump lately is these weird picks he keeps having. Was like, yeah, I'm gonna back Lindsey Graham again. He's terrible. He stabbed me in the back 3 or 4 times, but you know what? Gonna give him one more chance. It's like,
He's
how
straight
about
out of
no?
Central Casting.
You know this Vivek guy. He's kind of a scammy guy, but you know what? He'd be great for Ohio. It's like, no, no,
Damn, dude, you do a
stop.
really good Trump. You get that. You get that. The dryness in the back of his voice really well.
It's just he just keeps coming with these terrible picks, man. It's
Yeah.
like
I don't know what the fuck's
you.
happened in the last couple of months, but guess what? I know Trump, and I know we can never really expect him to be bad in perpetuity. When he's being bad, just give it a little while, and his mood will change, and he'll get sick of the fucking people that are making him bad, and then they'll start doing good shit again. Like he's preventing like huge corporations from buying up single family homes in America. That's pretty cool. You know, he made
Well,
weed
I mean,
Schedule 3. That's
if
pretty cool.
if you keep up with like some stuff like I do, like I keep up with I don't know if you know Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen.
It sounds a little familiar, especially Rasmussen, but nah, not really. Not
I
familiar
follow
with him.
him on Twitter and I listen to his streams occasionally. He is a independent pollster.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
runs Rasmussen polling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard of that.
He's friends with Richard Barris, who runs Big Data Polls. Both of them are independent pollsters. They have a higher track record than 538 or a lot of these other weird polling outlets. And they kind of lean on the Republican side. They kind of lean on this side of politics.
Well,
Well,
that's like
Mark
what
Mitchell
people do,
had
you know.
they had an interview. He had an interview with Trump where he basically like brought his polling data to Trump, sat in the White House with him for like an hour and a half, and like, look, Fox News is lying to you. Your polling numbers are actually not as high as they say they are. You're actually like drowning in the polls with people under 40.
Yeah, people don't like the neoconservative shit. They really don't. Even old
And
people are. They feel kind of. They feel really. They have to lie to themselves, and like it makes them sick. I observe them in my church. Like when the old people are talking about Trump and he's doing shit that's really really bad, you can look in their eyes and you can see the pain.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not like they're. It's just going over their head. They can feel it. It's going through them.
I mean, I've even had some, especially some conversations on Twitter recently with like kind of like boomers where they'll just like get mad at you, like Trump's doing such great things. Don't you notice the egg prices, the gas prices? And it's like, dude, it's
Well,
actually not that great.
you know, Biden was
Like,
a horrible, evil piece of shit who was like deliberately killing tons and tons of chickens for like a disease that just somehow disappeared as soon as he stopped being president. But
yeah.
like, you know, that
I mean,
doesn't
there's
give
a
Trump
reason
a
why
mandate to do
those prices.
whatever he wants. His mandate is to serve the will of the American people.
Yeah. I mean, some of those things, like, there's a reason why those prices jumped up. But the biggest thing, and this is the one thing that Trump needs to understand, I hope he's finally kind of come around to understanding, and I think he has, is gas prices and egg prices are not what determines like a cost of living index.
Mm-hmm. It's
The
usually
biggest
house.
determinants: housing, rent, mortgage payments,
Yep.
health insurance, car
Mm.
insurance, stuff like that. Car payments. These are the things that are the big ticket items that tank most of your monthly budget.
And when you get into the
And
middle
that's
class,
what's
a lot of it's healthcare. You like frequent visits to
yeah,
the doctor, having children. You know, that costs
yeah,
a
especially
lot.
once you add children to the mix on like your health insurance plan, like everything just implodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But these are the things that are driving the cost of living for like younger Americans under 40 so high, and is making honestly housing unaffordable for most of our generation.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, like, to keep those people like on your side and not like blackpilling, so to speak, is the new term everybody's using now.
Dan Bongino's
Dan
loving
fucking
that term,
Bongino.
but like the black pill is lower than the white pill. The black pill tells you that everything is not okay. The white pill tells you that everything is not okay, and that's okay.
Yeah, but the whole the memification of black pill recently, it's just like the woke right. It's a made up, it's not a made up term, but it's a repurposed term that's trying to like blanket like anybody that criticizes Trump is out of line.
I
It's like,
mean, woke
no,
slowly started to mean less and less as time went on. It's like the term expanded to cover more and more bases as time went on to the point where it no longer fit the definition of a word.
yeah,
And like you see the same definition of woke, the same original definition of woke. You got racial based purity tests, you got purity tests, you got, DEI shit. You have all this shit, and it's being employed by drum roll, fucking the Trump administration. It's insane.
yeah.
Yeah. And James Fishback is
It's like,
100% not about continuing that cycle in Florida where we did embarrass the fuck out of ourselves with Randy Fine apparently behind DeSantis pushing him towards this. And I hear that DeSantis fucking hates Randy Fine for doing that, for forcing him to go to Israel and signing that fucking bill. Because of course that sunk his fucking political career, and he wanted to be president.
yeah, it made him look like a clown.
Yes, and it
I
made him look
mean,
weak too.
when I even saw that,
It made him look like
and it
Israel's
just,
puppet.
yeah.
And
But
that's not what a strong leader looks like. I'm sorry, and that's big time problem with Trump too. But then Trump goes around and like literally like completely disrupts like the nature of like the natural flow of things, and you're just like, well, shit, we forgot. It's Trump. He is an enigma. He is an archon. He's a demi archon. He's like archon. He's like a big time player in the world and in world history. He's a literal Napoleon Bonaparte type figure, and nothing that we say or do can really deviate from that. And we just kind of have to go along with the wake of this gigantic fucking boat, or get caught up in it and drown.
yeah,
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. I feel anybody
no,
who's caught up in the contradictions. It sucks.
I do think James Fishback, even like listening to like some of his interviews, like he has a conceptual idea of like what Florida needs to do to fix its problems long term.
He talks to people.
And specifically, well, him talking about part of the problem with Florida is it is a retirement state, and that's a bad sign for a younger generation of Floridians. You need housing to be affordable in Florida, so people actually
Excuse me.
start families in Florida, not end lives in Florida.
I'm sorry. I just aspirated some water. Yes, I agree with you though.
So I mean, it's important that he's noticing that, and it's very forward thinking to like, look, we need to fix some of these problems. Florida can't just be like a retirement home. It needs to be something better.
Yeah, I remember growing up here as a ghost town. Not a lot of opportunities. I didn't learn a lot, and that sucks.
Like even my own mother has like moved to Florida because they have like a condo down there, and she spends most of the year down there.
Yeah, my aunt just moved here. She just retired. She worked at the Pentagon. She just moved down here, and now she's chilling in Florida.
And she's tried on a couple occasions to convince me to move down to Florida with her, and I've told her like each time like there's not many job opportunities for me in Florida.
Yeah. That's one thing
I mean,
my
even
cousin
with
moved down
trucking,
here with her, and like I don't know what to tell him. Like it's gonna be rough. That's why maybe we can go into business together and like build people's lawns, build people's homes.
there you go. I mean, part of the problem with trucking, specifically in Florida, like I've been to Florida before. I went all the way down to Miami one time in a transfer, and everything that is coming out of Florida is mostly like produce. A lot of like onions, oranges, watermelons,
Pineapples.
specifically, yeah. And they're going out to other states. So if I move to Florida, my job that I've been working on for the past like several years, where I work kind of locally. I'm home every night. We'll go out the window because I'll have to drive out of state, so I will be
Mm.
sleeping in the truck again. Basically, like my job will get worse because there won't be any intrastate commerce where I'm moving something from one part of Florida to another and then coming home at the end of the day.
Yeah, I've been a long-term advocate for truckers, just keeping them in the discussion because they do travel, bringing people's goods. But like in that travel, the food that they have to eat, I'm sure you know, is like the sort of rationing food of a traveler, and like that you never get to sit down with a nice, like really nice, big, complex meal, and sit back and like rub your tummy and then pass out on a nice with like kicking your legs up on an ottoman. You're like always like kind of in
You
this.
you used to like COVID kind of killed that to a large extent.
Really?
Yes,
Damn, how'd that happen?
because nobody could afford to stay open because of the COVID regulations. So like
Oh.
specifically like when COVID was going on, I was still like driving kind of like out of state and doing like longer trips. So like I would be doing trips going up to like Sharon, Pennsylvania, picking up steel, bringing it back to like Lynchburg, Virginia, going to like steel roll forming plants down there.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'd be going to like Richmond. Sometimes I'd go to like Norfolk or Suffolk. But what happened during COVID was a lot of these truck stops, they couldn't keep the restaurants inside of them open anymore because the staff didn't want to work. They were taking the kind of like stay at home bucks and
Mhm.
they all left. And most of these places couldn't staff themselves. And it was really depressing. It was like one specific night, I had driven up to New Jersey to pick up a load of like, I think corrugated like roofing sheet steel.
Mhm.
And I'm stopped at like a Pilot's and it has a Denny's. And it's been a long day, man. I'm beat. I just want something hot to eat.
Yeah.
And I walk in there and there's a big sign, Denny's is closed. We don't have staffing. And then I look at like what else they have to eat. It's just candy bars and sodas. And I'm just at this point, like I'm just done. I
Yeah.
walk back to my truck and I'm just like I got like a little jar of peanut butter and some crackers in here
Hell
for like
yeah.
an emergency. I'm
Yeah, that
just gonna
makes
eat
it work.
that. And I just sat there and I just sulked. And I was just like angry. It's like I'm so tired of everything's closed. I'm out here working through this. I never got to take a day off during
And people are going fucking crazy and their bills aren't getting paid. I fucking hated that shit. And my dog was dying at the same time, dude. It was awful. But then I like poured all my energy into like talking to people on kiwi farms and a lot of people were on lockdowns and like I talked to a lot of people and I really did think I helped a lot of people through that really fucking dark night of the soul of American history.
That's
I do
good.
believe that. I think that's where I earned a lot of respect from kiwi farms, which I then
But I
burned.
think no, specifically during that time during COVID, like I just became irate. I Towards the end of it, man, I was just done. I didn't want to hear about masks anymore. I don't want to hear about
Yeah.
distancing.
Yeah. Fuck.
And it
Yeah.
all
Like that helps.
culminated in me like losing my cool one day. It was actually at that facility I mentioned earlier, SH Bell Company in Baltimore.
Hmm.
I went there to pick up. I get checked in just fine. I'm talking to this woman behind the counter through like this plexiglass and like this little kind of cubicle where you walk in, and I get pull around the building. Somebody in a forklift like loads the flatbed trailer I'm pulling. I pull back around to get my paperwork. At this point, all the woman has to do is hand me a piece of paper. This is a 5-second interaction. Done, done. I walk out. She's not content with just handing me a piece of paper. She hands me a mask. And I just kind of look at it. And she kind of motions for it, like she can't speak. The virus will like jump out and kill us all. She like opens her mouth. And I just kind of like just keep looking at her like with a sideways glance. Like, why hand me a piece of paper? And she finally she speaks, is like, I need you to wear the mask. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So she immediately stops what she's doing. She walks away from the counter. She goes back in the office. She gets her manager.
Hmm.
So she goes full Karen on me.
Hmm. Hmm.
She gets the manager. The manager comes up, is like, gotta wear the mask. It's really important. And I just started arguing with the guys. Like, what law says I have to wear it? Well, it's the governor's orders. It's like, is the governor standing outside? Like, all you need to do is hand me the bill of lading, and I'm done. This whole interaction is done. You just hand me that piece of paper. We're done. I'll leave. You don't have to talk to me anymore. You can
Very
hate me when I
professional.
leave.
Dust your hands, and that's that. But no,
And
it's a
they were insistent.
control thing.
We
If
will not.
they're being controlled, they have to control you. Otherwise, they're a loser. They have to pass the buck.
They would not hand me that piece of paper until I performed the ritual. So I finally like, you know what? Fine. I'm against my will. I'm going to put this on. As soon as I put it on, they just hand me a piece of paper and I walk out the door. And I'm fuming at this point, man. Like I like I can just feel like my ears like just heating up. Like
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
and in a fit of like just kind of like rage and just kind of like a split second decision. I locked the trailer brakes and dragged my trailer across her scale.
Ooh, ooh.
And specifically, like you may know this, but for anybody that doesn't know, part of the problem with a scale is it works off of like metal tension and it has to be calibrated.
Uh-huh. And
So
does it?
when you have a lateral force dragging across the scale, it throws off the calibration. They have to get somebody to come back and calibrate it to the tune of like $5,000 to like $10,000. So I probably just cost that business like $5,000 because they wanted to get so shitty with me by putting that little piece of cloth on my face,
Yeah.
and
I mean, yeah, and that's fucking sucks.
I've never
man.
picked up from there again.
And that fucking sucks.
And this is, dude, this
I
was the kicker of the story.
what's that?
I found out afterwards, later that night when I stopped for the night, the governor's orders about the mask mandate in Maryland had expired a month ago. We were arguing over something that wasn't even valid.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the whole point about the fucking COVID shit. It's just like 2 years of everybody's life was spent like looking around like am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do that? Like what the fuck? Is it over? What it's been a year and a half now. Is it over? Do we and like nobody ever said when it was over. Everybody just eventually came to the conclusion that like we're not going to wear masks and we're not going to fucking get a million boosters. And then like people got like started dropping. People started dropping because of the fucking boosters. And then come to find out all those fucking freaks, no man, you are absolutely in the right. I hate to call them freaks because they're just kind of like being humans, you know, in the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
But like what they did was they peer pressured people into doing stuff that fucked up a large portion of their life and that required a lot to heal. And that potentially, if they had other compounding effects, permanently damaged them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's no fucking joke. My mom's a microbiologist. She was telling me, do not get this vaccine. This looks horrifying. This is a crazy ass mRNA experimental as fuck vaccine that nobody's ever been really experimented with on before. So don't fuck with it. And I'm glad I
Yeah,
did.
that was one thing I thankfully made it through that whole time without having to get vaccinated.
Hell
And
yeah.
there was a risk of it because I believe Pete Buttigieg, our former Department of Transportation, was
Oh,
threatening
yeah.
to make it the vaccination contingent on getting your DOT medical certification.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
yeah. He
like
can.
every 1 or 2 years you have to go get a full physical to say that you're like physically fit to operate a commercial vehicle
Yeah.
to travel across state lines. So he was going to tenure that on getting the COVID vaccine. He was talking about it, and it was a risk that I might not have a job
My mom
if he
too.
went
And
through
then
with that.
DeSantis swooped in and, you know, did actually come in clutch in that instance. Um, yeah, East Palestine, I'm sure, is going to really appreciate, you know, mandatory vaccinations when they're fucking suffocating on vinyl chloride fumes. Fucking piece of shit. That guy bought children in Somaliland that he probably, like, consistently molests multiple times a week.
No, I hope the people in East Palestine are doing better than they were. because they had a rough go of that whole thing that happened to them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting because I just so I just accidentally unplugged my speaker, but somehow it's coming out on the regular computer. I can hear you on the regular computer, which is probably picking back up on the speaker. But like, I don't know how
Yeah,
the fuck it just.
I can hear my voice in the background.
I have no idea how the fuck this just happened. Oh lordy. I can't fix it, I don't think. When I plug in the earphones, it doesn't work. Testing. No.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're now like on the onboard mic of the computer. Because you sound like you're way farther away from the microphone now.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. I unplugged this and it went into the. You could probably hear me better now that I'm leaning towards my computer. It probably went into the computer microphone. Well, shit, man. Given the fact that I am not good at computer, is that a good spot to end it for today? It's been a great stream with you, man.
Yeah, that's a good spot to end it.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, man. Well, for all you watching on YouTube, thank you for coming along. It's nice streaming with you. Glad I'd be happy to stream with you again sometime soon, man.
Sure, man.
Hell yeah. You have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.